like Belema and Titi said. So in my company, we don't look at degrees. Yes, we may ask for it, but you'll hardly see me saying, okay, let me see your degree. Why? Because it doesn't matter. We're trying to make people more confident in their abilities, what they can do, not what a paper has said that they are. So if that paper says you are something and you are not that thing because you don't have the experience and you're relying solely on that paper, then you're not going to move forward. Second of all, it's also everyone participating in this. You can lead a horse to the stream, but you cannot force that horse to drink water from that stream. So the staff also, they have to be willing. You have to be intentional about your success. Success is an intentional thing and it's a personal thing. I can mentor you, I can show you the ropes, I can teach you, I can drive you, but are you willing to learn? Do you want that kind of push? Because some people crumble under that kind of push. Like Titi said, she worked under a boss for 2 years that was always on her case. But see where she is today. Are you ready? Some people want the glory, but not the sweat that comes with the glory. Why I say this is to emphasize that mentorship is, when you're receiving mentorship, it's not a passive thing. You don't sit down to receive mentorship. You have to participate. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the action. You have to know what your goals are. And all these things are decision-based. What decisions are you making every day to see you closer to your goals? Because a company can say, oh, we have all these nice things. Oh, there's inclusion, there's diversity, we have mentorship. They can just put it there for just to tick the box. But you as a staff, you as someone who wants mentorship or wants to mentor, have you actually gone out of your way to do this mentorship? Do you even know where you're going? Because if you don't know where you're going, anywhere will lead you there. And you won't even know when you've gotten there in the first place. So you have to be intentional about your career, intentional about where you want to go and how you are going to get there. Because every decision you make or don't make is leading you towards or away from your goals.
That's thank you very much, Owen. So that's some strong recommendations for women as well seeking to grow in their careers in the industry. Be intentional about it. And when you have the benefit of mentorship, make the most of it. I guess this is really what was being shared by Titi and Owen there. Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. I would now like us to look at some statistics. If we look at some statistics on the representation of females in Nigeria in boards of directors, according to a study by PwC, we're looking at 19% of females in the boards of directors of Nigerian companies, as opposed to 81% of males. In the management teams in general, we're looking at around 77% of male representation, 23% of female representation. So obviously there's a huge gap there. We all know it. The next question then relates to what can be done in terms of policies, if there is anything to be done there, in order to ensure that we close this gap a little bit. I'll give you an example. The CBN has set up a recommendation that 30% of females need to be represented on the boards of commercial banks. Do you believe, and I'm going to turn to one of our panelists on this statistic, I'm going to ask the audience first, does it make sense to have these kinds of statistics to impose on organizations, or do you believe that we should have a more organic growth? Somebody said yes. Yes, yes, please. So, does it make sense for us? Madam, you look like you want to answer. I have two people that look like they want to answer. Okay, let me turn to the one closest to the microphone, please, sir. Should we have these kind of recommendations in order to promote women in the industry?
I personally don't think so.
Okay.
I believe it's better when women are given enough opportunity to express themselves. Like, in the work environment, as Madam said earlier, I've forgotten her name, I'm sorry.
Belema?
Belema. She said something about being given that in the place where she worked, the person threw her open, and then she was able to thrive. Fine. She also said something that she was competent. Competence is needed.
Yeah.
If she was not competent, then there was no point throwing her out there.
Yes.
If you are bringing up individuals just because of, say, to score some political point, so as to let there be equality, and then you bring individuals who are not even willing to work, you bring them into the organization, they will end up sinking the organization to the bottom of the sea. So I believe women deserve like fair opportunity. I don't believe in equality. I believe in fairness.
In fairness in opportunities.
Yes.
But it's done in a smart way.
Yes, let there be fairness. Let there be an opportunity for everyone to come in and play. But it shouldn't be like mandatory. Let there be such that there has to be 50-50 or 70-30 or 80-20. No. Let there be that this is fair. Anyone can enter here and play, but let competence be the watchword.
Let competence be the watchword. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
I would like to add to that.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying about, you know, wanting there to be like any quota, but you know that anytime we put out an ad for a vacancy in our company, there are like 90% of people who are responding to that vacancy are men, and 10% are women. Not because they are not competent women, but some women don't feel confident enough to. So that quota gives them the opportunity to be able to come forward, knowing that, you know what, room has been made for me, and I'm going to step forward to be able to take that opportunity. I'm not disputing you. You have every right to have your opinion, but I'm just letting you...
It's really a man's world. Really.
Yeah, so you have to give the woman...
Whether we like it or not,
yes,
it is a man's world.
Yes, the man has been dominating this space for such a long time that women feel that they don't even have a chance.
Yeah.
So why
it's like you're speaking the mind of the second person in the audience.
Yeah.
So I believe that there are interesting points there that are being made. I would like to address each of them one by one, but to give you, Adam, because you're raising your hand, the opportunity to make your point as well. Or is it in line with what Owen was saying?
Yes, it's in line, because we know that normally this place, the world is mainly men dominated. And most of the time when you come for it, when a job vacancy comes, they always prefer the men. So that 30% is just for the meantime. Yes, it's advisable for now. And then when you've showed yourself along the line, you know, maybe the future, then the equal platform will be created. But for now, it won't work if it's being created, because most times, even from home, you're ahead. So that 30%, it's a very good one for a start. If not, even in the politics, we won't have any women, or just insignificant. So it's a good start.
It's a good start. Thank you. So we have here a gentleman. So we'll come back to you maybe during the question and answer, because I'm trying to be mindful of the time. But sir, if I understand you well, you're saying create an equal ground, a fair ground, but quota is not the answer. Madam, you are saying quota is the answer, in line with Owen and Titi. Yeah. I would like to ask Aissatou, are quotas the answers to really promote women in the industry?
For me, quota is politics.
Ah, it's politics.
Yeah.
And people are agreeing with you, apparently.
Quota is politics. You know, the matter of saying, and it's like the expression we say à la mode. It's like a mode now.
It's fashion.
It's fashion. We said, okay, woman, we are in the fashion period of promoting women. Let's give them something. So we said we give them 30%. We give them 70%. We give them. And in our mind, we think that because they give us 70%, we are going to take the 70%. It's politics, because it's like a KPI. It's like cross something to say, I did it. I'm a company. They ask me to do 30% or 50% of women. I did it. But in the woman, finally, who you are, who you have. You have some who you are in a position. They are not moving from the position for years. They don't have opportunity, but they are part of the quota. So the point is, why not the woman thinking by themselves that their quota is not 70, but is 100%? Why you need to have a quota to give yourself motivation to go to the position? No, don't give yourself this quota. It's politics. We have women and men today, let's say, we have the same chance. Too many programs are doing some education program to put our children, girls and boys, on school. You go to some school, most of the time the successful rate is higher from girls to boys. So the chance is the same from the beginning. After that, the education will be the same for the beginning. It depends on culture, it depends on family or whatever. But we have the same chance. The point is, when we go to the chance for education, you have too many women are in very great, but they don't have the chance. So the chance for me now have to come back for coaching. And the coaching has to be given to the woman like you, like us, who are in a position that will break already some barrier. This woman have in a program to be able to take the lead or coaching these girls we put in position because of quota. For her, she have competence. She has too many things she can do, but she needs to be pulled up. And this is my up. Exactly. You know, this is, so for me, quota is politics, definitely.
Quota is politics. It's interesting. So, according to you, Aissatu, quota is not the answer. Quota is politics. But Owen made an interesting point there. That is, they post a vacancy online, and eventually 90% of the applicants are men. And a good point, though, is if we have quotas in Just Stand Out, if you decide that 30% of senior management, for example, have to be women, would that actually bring more women on board as applicants, or does it mean that the work has to be done somewhere else to encourage women to now apply for these positions? That's the question. Would it really solve the issue? Please give us your take on that, and then I think Belema would want to also contribute to it.
Okay, when we say quota, we are speaking from a point of the playing field is not level. So let's start with that. The playing field is not even level. That is why we need a quota, not because we're not competent or we don't have competent women. You're coming into a situation whereby there's already an imbalance, and that is why it's not just in Just Stand Out or here in this place. The world over, we are asking more women to step forward, to speak up, and to be counted or to be heard. I believe if there's a vacancy out there, more women should come forward. However, since they don't have the confidence to do that, there should be a quota for them. Not just to get in any woman, but to get in qualified women. There are a lot of qualified women out there. Women are very intuitive. They are a very good mix in any organization, in anywhere. And not just women anyway, because I'm an advocate for competence. I'm an advocate for everyone. But I'm also a voice for those who do not have a voice. And I don't believe that women have the same voice share in this industry as the men do. So the women have to have that quota to tell them that, you know what, you matter. Your experience, the experience you have matters, and you should bring it forward to join the organization. So yes, in my company, especially even when we're having trainings, we give a 20% discount. We give more of a discount to females to participate in our industry than we do for guys, because we know that there will be men. Yeah, thank you.
Titi is clapping.
Because we know that the men are going to dominate that place. And in the first training we had half of them were women and half were men. So that was a good one, you know, something that we were able to achieve. And then going forward like that. So even if we give that quota for 30% and we don't find qualified women in that 30%, we still won't take them. So it's an opportunity for you to step forward and show, you know, prove who you are. And that's where intentionality, training comes in. Our parents trained us, you know, up to a certain level, or the government trained us. But each individual, each woman has to be intentional about, you know, pushing herself forward, being curious about her industry or the things that are around her. Because I noticed that more men are more curious and put themselves forward, even when they're not qualified, than women who are qualified do. So that's my take on it.
Thank you very much, Owen. Belema.
Yeah, so I would like to use myself as a personal example. And that's something I try to do in my company now, okay, when I'm leading my team. Okay, like Vivian said, I started out as the only female. But the part of the story you didn't hear was that, like 2 years before that time, I had applied to my company and they rejected me because it was a men-only club, okay? As an engineer, I mean, I said we are going to FPSOs, we are going to all these places. It's not, and it's a support company, okay? So it's not a place where you would traditionally find women playing. And I was given an outright no because I was a woman. It was emphatic, okay? Now, 2 years down the line, the company had that intentional push for a 30-70 spread in their engineers, okay? So, yes, it is politics, but I call it the open door. And that's where the government comes in. When a government is ruling people, they have to look at the society, understand how the society works, and ensure that every single individual is not disenfranchised because everybody has their part to play. And that's what happened to me. And then moving into the company, okay, so I showed competence. I started breaking boundaries, okay? I started making that conscious effort and showing up every day. And what that did was, now we have 3 other female engineers who have come in, okay? And they're doing very good stuff, okay? It made them know that these are women, okay? They're going to get cramps, period cramps, when they can't show up to work. They're going to get pregnant, like I'm pregnant right now. They're going to go through all this stuff, emotional, whatever, marriage, everything. But when you have the right females, because your door is already open, they're going to come in and they're going to make your organization get to the next level. And that's where the government policies and all these things come in. The government has to be conscious enough to make those policies. I think the second part of it will be follow-up. Because we make these policies and then there is no follow-up. Nobody is really checking if people are really doing it. And if you're not checking, people are not conscious. And they may just bring one lady and say, okay, we've brought a lady. We've fulfilled that quota. But are they doing what is necessary to push that lady forward? Because you can't just bring the person in and then just say, okay, we brought the person in. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to bring the person in and follow up. Just like every other thing we do in life. You know, you don't just start it and then leave it. Nothing is automatic, okay? You have to follow up. If she's not doing well, then put her on a probation, cycle. And if she's not good, kick her out and get somebody else in. But the thing is, we all have to follow up. And the government has to make these policies and follow up, because those are the doors that bring out the stars that we have tomorrow, like my delectable ladies, up here. So, that's really it. That's really it for me.
Titi, as I know you want to add a point to this, and you could also answer that question at the same time. As the head of your entity, what do you think that you bring as a woman, a specific characteristics that you think adds value to the organization, maybe because you are a woman?
Thank you. But quickly, to add to the point on quota, one thing quota does is awareness. We have been too stereotyped as women to be in a particular profession, engage in particular areas of the business sector as a whole. But when you begin to have this kind of awareness of what is possible. You can begin to pick up careers in other sectors. I initially wanted to be a mechanized farmer. I think I've always been very extreme. I wanted to be a mechanized farmer, found myself in engineering, now in material handling. So awareness. This is the age of information, the age of data. We're here at this event. All that we're hearing is to move us forward, as men, as women alike. So what do I bring in as a woman? I said earlier that one of the things our male counterparts should realize is we are not in this to compete. We are in here to complement. So as a woman, I'm bringing in attention to details, which most men don't have, sorry to say.
Attention to detail.
Exactly. I'm bringing in empathy.
Empathy.
I know most of the men, guys on my team are fathers. They are my husbands. They are husbands to be. So in driving them, I also have this consciousness of, where the line cuts. But they all know when the ball is rolling, we're all running. We have a slogan on my team. I'm only as good as the coach. I'm only as good as you play. If you're not playing well, they are going to sack me. If they sack me, you're going down. So everybody has that sense of ownership. The woman is there to build. Give her a house, she gives you a home. She gives you a child. We're there to just take it to the next level. So as a woman, I'm bringing next level. I'm bringing productivity. I'm bringing focus to the organization's objective as laid down.
Thank you very much, Titi. And very quickly, because we have a short time span left.
Okay,
Owen.
So Titi, thank you for that. Also, what a woman brings to the table. I don't know if anyone has heard about the Barefoot College. It's a college in India that is for women, mostly women, mothers and grandmothers from all over Africa. They come to that college to be able to learn technical skills. And guess what? One of the requirements is that you should not have a degree. Yes, you must not have a degree. You must be a woman. Do you know why? Because women, they said, and they have proven over time, when you train a woman, there's enlightenment in that village. There is progress in that village. But when you train a man, immediately he has, and they don't give certificates, immediately he has that knowledge. He wants to leave the village. He wants to live there. He wants to go somewhere else to go and make his millions there. So women, when they are trained, when women are empowered, there's empowerment in that community. There's empowerment in that organization, and there's growth. When there's empowerment, there's growth that, you know what, there's going to be longevity, and the next generation is going to be able to benefit from a woman being in an organization or being trained.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that contribution, Owen. Very enlightening. So we're coming to the end of that session, and I'm going to ask one last question to each of you before we round up and give a chance to the audience to contribute as well one last time. So we've understood that really it's a change of mindset that is required. It's a change of mindset, but it's also about creating a level playing field for women in order to access the highest level of the organizations in the same way that men do. We've heard about the benefits as well of having women in leadership positions in organizations. You are all power women here. We've already established that. With your experience in 2 words, what would be your recommendation to the women out there that are also aspiring to find the power women inside themselves in order to reach the highest level of the organizations? In 2 words. Belema.
Okay, the first will be find yourself, and then the second one will keep showing up. Okay, because in that you find, you get the beautiful journey, that takes you where you never thought you would be. So find yourself, that's the first part. The second part is keep showing up.
Keep showing up, thank you. Titi.
The first word will be, you are your own rescue. You are. And the second will be, what would the second be? The second will be, keep at it. It pays out. Keep at it.
Okay, thank you very much, Titi. Aissatou?
For me, it's confidence. Really, women need to be really confident and to know that the power is in her hand.
Confidence. Thank you. Owen?
You have greatness within you. Give yourself permission to bring out that greatness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Owen. So really, I make up one conclusion from these recommendations. It comes from within first. It really comes from within. So to all the power women existing, the aspiring power women, it comes from within you.